very good evening to everyone this evening. And it's Sunday evening as we take this, just gone past 8:30. And what can you believe this? It's something like 159 days, 5 months, April the 2nd, the last victory in the Premier League for our wonderful team, Wolverhampton Wanderers. And guess what? We've managed to get another victory. Yes, we have. We've won 1-0 over the Saints of Southampton. And does it feel good? Yes, it feels amazing. I'm still so happy that we won the goal. We've scored 3 goals this year so far. One was a Neves worldie, and the other 2 were miss hits from Daniel Podence. But do we care? No, we don't. We're happy that we've got the first win on the board, and hopefully that's going to take a little bit of stress. We do, of course, have news breaking today, which we're going to talk about with the guys and gals as well, and that is that you just can't write it. Sasa Kalajdzic, Wolves' new super striker, 15.4 million from Stuttgart. Played, came on, started the game because Raul was injured with a groin. Goes off at half-time with a bang on his knee, and Wolves are reporting today that he's got an ACL. We don't know how bad that is at the moment. We don't know whether it's a tear, a strain, and how bad the tear is or not. We'll obviously wait that. But there's also reports coming out this evening that Wolves are talking to Diego Costa, Brazilian Diego Costa, who was best known for many, many things. We won't talk about the one thing that he's best known for, but also he had a fantastic spell at Chelsea. He's a free agent, and apparently he's going to be coming to Wolverhampton on Tuesday with his agent to see what his fitness is like, and there could be some sort of deal being done for that. Wolves literally down to the bare bones of strikers at the moment. We've either got young Chem Candle. I'm not sure if Bonatini's still at the club. I'm not sure you want to go back. So we're going to get stuck into all of this. We've already got over 109 watching. We also, we've got the regular friends of the show, co-hosts Manny and Paul. We should have Scott and Josh. But we've also got on tonight, because we've managed to make the magic work tonight, because we've had a little bit of a test before. We've also got Billy Wright's daughter, Vicky Wright, because as promised, the draw for the VIP experience at the Billy Wright experience evening at the Prince of Wales Theatre in October has been done, and we'll be announcing the winner and who's won that VIP experience. And that basically means you'll get to meet both Vicky Wright and Bobby Davro pre-show. But we're going to get stuck in straight away. And we're going to welcome back from his globe-trotting travels for the last 4 weeks or so. I'm sure he's going to fill us in on that. And I'm looking forward to going to the match with them at the weekend, Liverpool away, where we're going to continue our winning streak. Paul, how you doing?
Hello, Dave, and good evening to everyone that's joining us tonight.
It's so glad to have you back, mate. We've missed you. Where have you been for the last 4 or 5 weeks?
Well, to start with Leeds with you and Manny.
Yeah.
I'm sure everyone's heard all about that trip. Then I've been to Portugal, and then had a holiday in France that was cancelled back from lockdown as well. So I haven't been around much in August, but obviously been following news very closely with football developments. And I'm back.
I'm not being funny, Paul, but you've been away, you've come back, you've had your first match of the season at Molineux, and we've won the game.
It's such a relief. The feeling when the referee put his whistle to his mouth and blew, as you said, after nearly 160 odd days of since our last Premier League win. It just felt amazing, and it's been a long time coming, because I know we haven't had the results that we wanted, but I don't think we've been as bad as our league position prior to Saturday had shown. So I think it was due. I think it had been coming. It was just the fine margins really that were stopping us from picking up, from turning a draw into a win or the other way around. So yeah, relief is the main emotion that I felt really on Saturday.
And you have been watching the games, because I've seen pictures of you and the family whilst you've been away, watching the games abroad anyway, haven't you?
Yeah, we've watched it as much as we can. It's hard though when you're abroad because even though you've got Sky or BT, it stops you from watching it on your iPad or your computer when you're abroad. So it has been a bit difficult, but a bit easier in Portugal because it's a
Did
bit
you
more.
not use the VPN?
I don't know enough about that, to be honest. It's something I need to look into. But to be honest, I'm normally at the games. It's unusual for me to miss four in a row. So it's not something I'll probably have to think about for a while.
Yeah, well, it's good to have you back, mate. To be fair, I mean, it really, really is good to have you back. And I think you went with the family to Southampton.
Yeah, my girls came. They've really missed it because it's been a long time since Norwich at home in May that they were able to go. And my youngest daughter in particular is a big Daniel Podence fan, so she was really happy with his goal.
Paul, can I ask you, did you mean that?
No, I was actually sat level with it up in the Billy Wright on the back row, and I had a great view of what Podence's view would look like, and all he had to do was slide it back across the 6 yard box, and Sasha would have had a tap in. So I don't think he meant it, but to be honest, we've had so much luck where it's hit the bar or it's been a great block. It was about time that we got across into the box, got on the end of it, and something happened in our favour. So I don't think he did mean it, to be honest.
Yeah, I think. Do you know what, Paul? When I was watching it live, because obviously you could see me because you spotted me with my gold hat on at the
Yeah, I
weekend
could
from
see it.
all that far away, and obviously I was just about to go apoplectic or whatever sound it because I thought, oh my god, I was thinking like it's another one missed, and then obviously their keeper committed himself, didn't he? And it kind of just bounced past him and into the net. And then obviously he was doing his little thing that he does. But I'm pretty sure, like with you, that he was. It would. I mean, it would have been if he had done that, knocked it across and a tap, it would have been the perfect goal that they've been trying to score, which we've been talking about. But it went in, and we don't care. So he scored two, hasn't he? And both of them have been misses.
They have, but it just shows that if you get people in the box and put the ball in the box and get on the end of stuff, then things can go in your favour. You have to make things happen, and you make your own luck with things like that. So, yeah, I think he can go on hopefully and be that player that can get 7, 8, 9 goals this season, and that's what player of his ability in his position should be doing.
Yeah, hopefully he can do as well. So yeah, Paul, what do you think about the Sasa Kalajdzic injury and the rumours of Diego Costa? I'm sorry, there's a bit of an echo on here. We can't work out where the echo's coming from because I've got nothing else open on my screen. Can you hear an echo? I can't work out where the echo's coming from because there's nothing else open on my screen. And so I apologise if there's a bit of an echo. We'll just have to deal with it. Apologies. Yeah, Sasa Kalajdzic and Diego Costa. What your thoughts?
Well, first of all, it's terrible luck, isn't it? I mean, there's so much effort that goes into signing a player, and to get it over the line, to get him in the team, and within 45 minutes that happens, you just can't really make it up, can you? So it's terrible luck. Naturally, it'll be in good hands with the medical staff at Wolves, and obviously all the fans will get behind him and support him, and hopefully he gets back as soon as possible. With an ACL, you always have to fear the worst, but Johnny has shown that you can come back from it. He's had it twice, and he played very well at the weekend. So yeah, it's really bad news, really bad luck. What I will say about this Diego Costa link straight away is it shows that Fosun mean business. They're not prepared just to wait until January and just try and get by with only Jimenez as the proper central striker. They're taking a very proactive approach, and we haven't really tapped into the free agent market very much, have we, over the recent years? So it's about time that we used it to our advantage. Perhaps they're worried about using it because usually when you sign a player on a free, it means they have inflated wages because they're not having to pay a transfer fee. And I know the wage structure at Wolves is quite strict, and they don't want to upset the harmony by bringing a free agent in and having someone on huge wages. So yeah, I'm pleased that Fosun are going out and doing something very proactively about it. Whether he's the right answer, we don't know, because no one really knows his fitness, but he's got tremendous pedigree in the Premier League. He played in the World Cup as recently as 2018 for Spain. I think he's got 10 goals and 24 caps for them. We all know he's a handful, he's a presence. And I think they're absolutely right to have a look at him. That's all they can do, isn't it, at the moment? Have a look at him, judge his fitness, see how ready he is. And if he's ready, then why not take a punt? Because what are our other options?
Well, the other options, as I can see it, and tell me if I'm wrong on this, is Chem Campbell. Is Leo Bonatini still with us? I can't remember him being loaned out.
He's not training with the first team squad, though, and I don't know if he's registered in the Premier League squad. I know they're actively trying to ship him out, but he's not the answer.
And then the other one, is it Campana? Is he over at LA Galaxy or something like that?
Yeah, and I think they've got an option to buy, which looks like it would be activated. But I mean, they can play. There's obviously still Jimenez, who has had a bit of a mixed start to the season. He played Gonzalo Guedes down the middle for most of the second half. He can play Juan there. He can play Podence as a false nine. There's plenty of other options, but we do, I think, need that talismanic number 9 that can make a difference for us in the penalty box, and perhaps Costa is the right man. So I applaud the fact that they're going out and looking at him.
Yeah, he's got a bit of a reputation for being a little bit nasty, hasn't he? But maybe that's not a bad thing. But we need a bit of that in the team.
I don't think it's a bad thing as long as he keeps it in check. You can be aggressive and physical without overstepping the mark, and perhaps we haven't had enough of that in the past. So it's great that we've potentially got this different option. And one thing I remember from his time in the Premier League, he's so good with his back to goal, holding defenders off, and that can allow some of our attacking midfielders to get round him and make things happen. So if you're a Podence, if you're a Neto and Diego Costa's coming in, you're probably licking your lips because you're thinking that would be a great player for me to link up with.
Yeah, I think you're right. So if he's fit, you think it'd be a good thing for a short period at least.
Why not? The least they can do is explore the option and give it a go, because I don't know if Fabio Silva's got a recall in his contract, but even if he has, I don't think that can be activated till January at the earliest. So I think we have to kind of imagine that he's out of the picture until next summer, really.
Well, I think, to be fair, I mean, it's desperation in a lot of ways. It's like, I mean, Wolves, we seem to have this run of bad luck with injuries at the moment. You look at Neto had it, you know, Chiquino is another one. Yerson last year. Johnny Otto had 2. Who I thought Johnny Otto had a fantastic game at the weekend, by the way.
Yeah, back to his old self, wasn't he? Assured in possession, nearly scored a great goal. I thought it was the best I've seen him play for quite a long time, actually, at the weekend.
That would have been some goal. He was virtually running the show second half. Johnny Otto is possessed. Paul, we've got a little bit of a spin the wheel coming up in a minute, so hold your horses for that. But your man of the match.
It's a tough one. We were discussing this in Lupo Lounge after the match, and all 4 of us sat around the table, all gave a different man of the match. But I'll probably go with Max Kilman. I don't think he put foot wrong, and he just fills me with so much confidence. He's building a great partnership with Nathan Collins now. He's great on the ball, and I think the stat is now the case that we have got the best defensive record in the Premier League after 6 games.
Normal services resumed.
Yeah, and we're building from very solid foundations. And for me, he was excellent again on Saturday. I liked some of the contributions from Mateus, as he wants to be called, rather than Nunes. I thought he looked lively. He was driving the ball well from midfield. I think Pence is that player that can create something out of nothing in the final third that we've really craved for a long time. And as you said, Johnny was a strong candidate as well. But I'm going to go for Max Kilman for my man of the match.
And did you say your performance rating?
No, I'll give it a 7.
Yeah.
Because I think we defended well, and I think we did show some bright attacking play. But what is a big problem for me at the moment is the service that's coming into the box. I think Neto must have had 7 or 8 crossing opportunities against Southampton, and I think there was maybe one half decent one that Guedes nearly got on the end of in the second half. I think he needs to be back on the left-hand side, using a stronger foot. Neto, I think he needs to be on the left.
Yeah,
his right foot isn't anywhere near as effective as his left. So we need to be more clinical. We need to finish teams off. And we did allow Southampton to come back at us. But then again, I suppose if you 1-0 up, the other team are going to come back at you, aren't they? So it's a 7 overall. If we could have got that second goal, it probably would have been up to an 8. I thought some of our midfield play was very neat and tidy, as you'd expect with those 3 Portuguese lads in the middle.
100%, absolutely. And your moment of the day doesn't have to be on the match; it can be the whole
day. On a personal note, we have to sit as 2-2s because we can't get 4 tickets together. So I took my eldest and my dad took my youngest. She's the massive Daniel Podence fan, my youngest, and when she ran down the stairs afterwards at the end, and she came down doing the Daniel Podence celebration with a massive grin on her face, that was really nice. In terms of the match itself, watching the goal back, it's a great move that leads to yes, miss hit the shot in my opinion, but Neves, Neto, Mateus is really incisive break from the 3 of them. So I think we can be a real handful for Liverpool at the weekend because I think we're actually going to be still a good counter-attacking team, even though we're trying to get away from that.
I'm looking forward to it, mate. We have got one final fun thing that it's a new thing we're trialing, Paul. You might have missed this. So hold your horses. You're going to love it. So this is spin the wheel. Okay. So basically, I'm going to spin that wheel. It's going to ask a random question, and you've got to answer it. There's some Wolves questions in there, some random ones. So here, you ready?
Bring it on.
Oh, here we go. The question is, Paul, what was your first computer game?
This is showing my age a little bit now, but I think it would have been on the Commodore Amiga, and I think it would have been Sensible Soccer.
Oh, I knew was the reason why we got on so well. Do you know what? I had a Commodore 64, and I had a Commodore Amiga, and I loved Sensible Soccer. So, Paul, we're gonna have to have this. I think you can get them online somewhere, and we're gonna have to play Sensible Soccer against each other at some point. I know that everyone goes on about FIFA, but Sensible Soccer is where it was at. It's brilliant.
Yeah, and I think there was a game called World Cup 90 as well on the Master System, Sega Master System.
I never did the Sega. It was never up to Sensible Soccer anyway.
No, Sensible Soccer's an all-time classic, isn't it? The graphics were so limited, but the gameplay was pretty good.
Hey man, he's just cracked me up here with this comment. That spin the wheel is what Wolves used to select their striker. He has got a fast sense of humour, Eddie.
Wouldn't be interesting for us as fans if they do that, but yeah, I mean, injuries are part and parcel of football. It can happen to anyone at any time. And each club has got to have 5 or 6 backup transfer targets for every position. And you've got to work your way through the list. So obviously, Diego Costa's not their top transfer target going back to the start of the window. But if he can come in and do a job for us in the short term, great. And don't forget as well, I think he's 2 years younger than Martinho. He's 33. So it's not like he's been wheeled out of retirement, with a walking stick. Hopefully he's still got something to give.
I think he could. I think he could be quite amazing. And I'll tell you something. If he does come to us as well, there's going to be a lot of media attention about it as well. Mick de Wolf says Summer Games, Commodore 64. I remember that one as well. Do you?
No, but I think I might have had a Winter Olympics games and a game called Super Frog as well on there.
Super Frog, classic times, mate. Paul, thanks ever so much for coming back on, mate. I look forward to the day with you for Liverpool at the weekend, pal.
No doubt there'll be a good packed lunch as well if we've got anything to do with it.
There always is, mate. There always is. It's more than you can ever eat. So looking forward to it.
Yeah, well, good to see you, and good to see everyone back in the comments as well. And I'll probably be on the post-match video with you after the Paul game.
Yeah, that's part of your contract, Paul. That is anyway.
Yeah, if you get the Costas in, then I might think about it.
No problem at all, mate. I'll see you later, pal.
Yeah, see you on Saturday. Cheers everyone.
Cheers, bye. So that's Paul. It's so good to have Paul back. I say he's been away for a little while, and he's back, and he will be going to Liverpool away at the weekend. Always brilliant. So look out for Paul on the match vlog for Liverpool with his dad as well. And also we'll be doing the instant reaction. If Manny's going, if I can grab him, I'll try and get him on as well straight after the game if we can. Next up, we do have a special, really extra special guest. And the last time she tried to come on the show, we had all sorts of technical issues, but we've done a trial run today. Vicky Wright, hello.
Oh, hi there. Can you see me? Can you hear me? Hello. Hi, Dave. How's everyone?
Vicky, it's so great to have you. I know about a month ago or 3 weeks ago, we tried to get you on and you were having all sorts of technical difficulties. So
I don't know what I was doing wrong. It probably was my fault, but this time it was a doddle. I just said, yes, here I am, and it's worked. So it's lovely to be here. It's quite exciting because it's live. Evening, Vicky.
Yes.
Hello. Oh,
It
it's
is
lovely.
like all these people. If you guys let Vicky know where you're watching in the world as well, there's loads of people.
Yeah, this is lovely. Hey, this is really exciting. Hey, hello. Hello. Don't ask me my favourite computer game, whatever you do.
Well, we will do this. We'll do the spin the wheel, Vicky.
Oh,
at the
really?
end.
Oh, lovely. Yeah, go on. Do spin the wheel.
It's a random question generator, and there is a couple of Wolves questions. There's about 4 or 5 Wolves questions, and the rest are just random things. So we'll just go with the flow and see what they are and everything.
Yeah, give it a go.
Did you get a chance to see the match the weekend, or you watched the highlights or anything?
I saw some of the highlights, but yeah, no, I was working, so I didn't get to see it. But wow, at last, it's hard work, isn't it? Watching it, just hoping and on the edge of your seat, and it's just not happening. So frustrating. So it was euphoric, wasn't it, when we just got that just that one goal, and like you said, when that final whistle went, that must have been a great moment, mustn't it? Oh, at last. Were you there?
It was, mate. It was really much. And we got people like watching all over the world. Someone here from I don't know where that is.
Andalusia. Oh my gosh.
Where is that? Where is that?
Is it Spain? Is it Spain? I think.
Spain, Albury, Leeds.
Leeds. All over the place.
West Bromwich. Oh dear.
Oh, West Brom.
How
exciting! How exciting!
Yeah, loads of watching you here.
The game.
Jones says he's got Billy Dad's autograph.
Oh, how wonderful! How did you get that, Adrian? Did you get that personally from him?
How did you get it? Well, Vicky wants to know.
Did you get that personally from him? Did you get him to sign it when?
No.
California.
Yeah.
This is brilliant. Hi, guys.
Kevin
Dave, just lovely.
Joe says
hi. Hi, Joe.
Andy Johns is over in Amsterdam watching.
Amsterdam. My first love was from Amsterdam. I fell in love when I was 17 with a beautiful Dutchman.
Did he give you tulips from Amsterdam?
Oh, I say, I'm not letting on. He gave me quite a few things, actually, as I remember. He was my club. I remember, I can still say a Calfonial. So you'll probably know, Andy, what that means. A Calfonial. Yeah. My name is Vicky. Oh, I see, I remembered it. I haven't spoken it for all those years. I love Amsterdam. Canada?
Ontario, Canada. We've got Stourbridge.
This is amazing. This is amazing, Dave. You've created this, isn't it? It's lovely. And they watch every week. Do all these guys watch every week?
The world.
Fabulous.
South Spain, Sevilla. We've got Ireland, Milton, and the chap here is over in Finland. So they watch from all over the world. And obviously that's the great part about it. It's a great community and everything. And of course, you know, your dad is literally a Wolves legend. The first, I believe, the first player to get 100 caps for England as well. Yeah.
He was the first man ever isn't that incredible? So nobody will ever do that. First man ever to get 100 caps. And the way I feel, the pride I feel about that, can you imagine? And as everybody knows that loves the Wolves, that statue outside the ground says it all, doesn't it? It takes my breath away every time I see it.
It's a beautiful tribute, to be fair, as well.
Sensational, isn't it? Sensational. I know I'm biased, but I can't see another one in any part of the country that beats that one, because it's bronze as well, so it goes with the colours, and when the sun hits it, oh. And it's so like him as well. It's so like him.
Every time you come past that, it must be quite emotional for you, Vicky.
Oh, I get goose pimples all the way up the arms and neck, and always have a tear. Always have a tear. And then to see all the players touching the boots, you know, and just all these big football fans, and it's just so moving. You know, there's that feeling of that love for the club. I said this morning, I was chatting to Jason Forrest, and he just said, you know, that so what do you feel about the players and the audience and the team and all the spirit? I said, it's just, I think, second to none. The fans are second to none. Every time that we've been there, they you know, there's such a sense of family, and they all respect the history of the game and the history of the club. And it's just a special club. I don't know if it's just because I know it's part of me. But I think in general, because I know Bobby is a Tottenham supporter, my Bobby is a Tottenham supporter. But when he's been to the ground with me, he says, you know, I've got to give it to you. There's something special about this. There is something. There's a magic about it, don't you think?
There is. Well, I'll tell you what. Matt's just put a comment up on the screen. He says, "Hi Vicky, my dad knew your dad when he was in the RAF for a short while, and that's why I ended up supporting Wolves. He's in Wales. My dad went on to watch Wolves many times and turned him into a fan." How about that?
Wow, isn't that? You see, I love to hear all these stories because it keeps Dad's memory alive, and this is making my night. How about that? So you see, when I'm going to do my show in October, this is what I want. I want everybody to come, and I want everybody to make a point of coming and talking to me, because if they've got any stories about that their mum was in love with him, or that they met him or touched his shoulder as he ran out with the ball, or he stopped for an autograph, or he visited my grandfather in hospital. I get all these stories all the time, and it makes it's so personal for me, and it keeps his spirit alive, and that's so special. So
I've got to say, Vicky, you do as well, because like you keep, you know, Billy's spirit alive. You know, obviously it's your dad and everything like that, which is why the event that you're putting on at the Prince of Wales Theatre is such a special event. And I mean, I'm going to be going. I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to meeting you in person, you and Bobby there as well. And obviously, I'm going to give it a little bit of coverage as well on a vlog. Yeah. But I'm really, really looking forward to it. Do you want to just tell everyone a little bit more about it? And Emma, if you could do us a favour as well, if you could dig out the link to the thing.
Oh, that would be brilliant.
We can put it up on the screen for everyone, and as you explain a little bit more about the show itself and how the idea came.
I will. Well, basically, my daughter. So I've got a daughter who's Billy's first granddaughter, Kelly. And she was born, and Dad got to see her for 6 months. So, but in that 6 months, they just formed the most wonderful bond. Dad spoke to her. You know, Dad, he was the most gentle. He was gentle, kind of a giant on the field, but just a gentle soul. And he had this beautiful way with him, and he connected with Kelly. And I have to say, I think probably I have to admit that her first smile was to him. Her first proper grin was he leant over and he said, "Hello, KJ. Hello, KJ." That's because her name's Kelly Joy. So KJ, he called her, and she was transfixed. So they had a special bond, and it was tragic that he only had her for 6 months, and then we lost him. But it was you know, at least he saw her, and he was so proud. So when she was going to be 25 3 years ago, I was thinking, what can I get her as a special little gift? And I just thought, you know, what would be wonderful to just get a few clips and do a brief synopsis of what her granddad achieved in his life, because it's extraordinary. From a little guy from Ironbridge in Shropshire, you know, that he became what he was and what he achieved in life. So I started to make a few inquiries and talk to people about it and get a little sort of idea of this wonderful guy. I'm going to put some home movies, so what he was like as a father, as well as
going to be some home movies on the screen and stuff like that.
It's a full lot. Oh, it's a full lot. It's such a, anyway. So I started to do this. I'm probably about 2 weeks into it. I just had this sort of light bulb moment where I thought, do you know what? This is too incredible, this story, to be just for Kelly. I need to do this on a big scale, because there were so many things that actually weren't out there in the public. You know, he broke his ankle when he was 17. I don't know how many people knew that. And he was told he'd never play again. He went in for a bad tackle and he was out. And they said, there's only one thing we can do. It's a very new procedure. You put a metal pin through the bone, and everyone's like, oh. And the Major Frank Buckley said, after an injury like this, Sonny, he said that nobody will recover from an injury like this. But his dad said, well, if I've got a chance, I'll do it. So he had the operation and worked twice as hard to get it back. So the little stories like that nobody knows, I include, and what it was like when he came home from those matches, when he won how he met my mom as well, who was Joy Beverly, you know, Beverly sisters, their little magical romance, and the funny stories behind the scenes of that, special footage of all that. So, and I've also included, because my brother is a sports journalist, so I wanted also to make it quite factual, because you know what I mean, I wanted to be able to say, and they won this, they won that, and so that the facts are right as well for all the ardent football supporters. So it's got that, but it's got the humour and it's got music as well, and as I say, I've got Bobby Davro's going to be hosting it, so he's going to cause all kinds of mischief,
as he does.
As he does. And there's a question and answer so that everyone can join in with their questions. So it's a very personal. And I put my heart and soul into doing this. And I've got quotes from like Stanley Matthews and Bobby Robson and you know, all the greats, Beckham and I've made it like into a film at the end where you can see the quotes. I'm so proud of it. I'm so proud of it. And I launched it at Molineux 3 years ago because I thought, where's better to do it? It's the only place to do it, really. So I did it there thinking, well, who's going to really buy a ticket to that, to come to see me, really? You know, I was so terrified about it. And it held about 250 and it was sold out. I mean, sold out. Now, of course, it was because of Dad, they're coming. But at the end, when they all stood up and were cheering, I thought, well, that's down to me as well. So it was one of the best nights in my life. And of course, I did it. And it was like, wow, where are we going to go with it now? Because having seen all these lovely people all over the world, there are different wars groups that are abroad and live abroad and all get together. So I could go to anywhere to really take this story. And I was about to sort of launch it. I was going to go to Mijas in Spain. And then we all got hit with Mr. COVID-19. So it put an end to us all doing anything, really, didn't it? And that was 3 years ago. So this is the relaunch of it, really, and we're doing it at the bigger venue this time.
Are you excited about it?
I'm terrified about it, but I am excited as well. I'm excited.
Well, just going to get on to that and tell everyone in a second how we can how they can get involved. To say,
thank you.
Put the link up. Cliff Thornton, as another one here, said his grandmother Emily Wright was your dad's cousin. She was also from Ironbridge.
You're kidding. Your grandma, is she still alive, Clint? Emily Wright, that's so weird. My sister's daughter is called Emily. Isn't that strange? Emily Wright, yeah. That's my sister's daughter's name.
And
Oh,
the link, I'm going to try and scroll back to find it. Here's the link here. Emma's put it in the comments.
that's it. That's it. Well done.
That's the link. And how many does he hold? The Prince of Wales.
It holds. I think it's 420. I think it's 420. And already,
how many
I think
souls?
we're halfway. I think we're halfway, which is astonishing because I haven't really. I put a couple of Twitter posts up about it, but I haven't really pushed it. You know, I haven't gone to. I'm going to do Midlands today,
You've
hopefully.
done about 200 and something.
Yeah, but done about 250, I think.
That's
so.
That's over halfway. That's right. So you've only got. There's only about 150 places left. So guys, listen. You need to get onto the Vicky Wright story. You can go onto the Prince of Wales box office and you can check it out there. And obviously Emma's put this link up in the chat, which is the
also Dave, if you go to my Twitter page, which is Vicky Wright, and it's Vicky Wright at Vicky Wright 5459 5459. So that's my birth year, unfortunately, but I can't lie about it because it's in. If you go back in history, you can see when it happened because it was in the papers. So it's the 5th of April, 1959. But that's my Vicky Wright at Vicky Wright 5459, and there's a link on that. If you look at my post, you can go straight to the box office.
Clint's answered to your question. He says Vicky, she sadly passed away in 1986 in Tipton. But it's so nice to know that, isn't it?
So special, you know, and everybody, that's what I mean. Everybody has a story or a link, and it's the history and my grandmother, my mother. Yeah, there are so many wonderful stories. And we should celebrate, shouldn't we, the history and the special people that have made the club so great over the years, I think.
And Vicky, are you ready to know who the winner is of the competition?
Yes, how are we going to do it?
Well, I'm just going to announce it now. We've done the draw earlier, and the winner is someone called Kate Walker, and she's on Twitter, and it's Kate WAL84. She's got loads of number after her name as well. What we'll do is we'll put a thing out on Twitter later. It was off the Twitter side, and then she can get in touch, and then I will put her in touch with you to organise the VIP.
Oh, fabulous. Well done, Kate. Thank you so much for entering. And if you come along, we'll put your name on and you can come round and see us beforehand. And there's like a little glass of bubbly, and I've got some books that I can sign of Down to Life story, and it'll be a lovely little pre-thing before the show.
That's going to be fantastic. We'll make sure we'll put that out after the show later, and then we'll obviously get in touch, and we'll put her in touch with you to organise that. Now, lovely. Vicky, before you go, you do know it's spin the wheel, right? Are you ready for this?
Go on.
This is a new thing, which I hopefully people are enjoying. So I'm gonna try.
It's good fun. I love it, but I hope I don't let myself down here. It's a good question.
Won't let yourself down. Are you ready for the? Can you see the wheel?
I hope it's about Disney movies or something. Go on.
If it's not, we'll put that one on anyway. But we'll ask you your favourite Disney movie anyway, as it's what you want to do. You ready for the spin?
Go on, spin it.
Here we go.
I love it. Oh no, what's it say?
Oh, it says, who was your first ever crush?
That's a really good one.
Yeah.
I don't know how many of you remember this program. It was a program called Alias Smith and Jones.
Oh yes, yeah. They were a comedy duo, weren't they?
No. That was before. No, I'm sorry, Dave. I'm sorry. It was a long way before that. No, it was called Alias Smith and Jones, and it was two American cowboys, and they were robbers, and they were offered amnesty. And it's I adored this program. There were two actors that played it, and one of the guys was called Pete Jewell, and he was so charismatic and this beautiful smile and cheeky. And I was only 13, I suppose, 13, 14, but it was the first time I thought, something strange is happening there when I look at him. I had a picture on my desk of Pete Jewell. That was my first crush. And then And he was very sort of depressed soul, and I think he shot himself. He committed suicide.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah, he was terribly mixed up, and I remember hearing that news, and I was just devastated. So, who was yours, Dave?
Oh, goodness me! No, then
Come on.
who's mine? Bloody hell! I wasn't expecting it to come back at me. That's naughty, isn't it?
There you go. Patrick remembers Amy Smith and Jones. Well done, Patrick, being as old as me.
Do you know what? I don't.
Come on. Pamela Anderson.
I do think Scarlett Johansson's a fine woman, though.
A fine woman. I like the way you say that. A fine
Scarlett
woman.
Johansson. I think she's very, very beautiful. And I think a lot of guys would probably agree with me. I've liked her for a very, very long time. But my first crush, I should have planned this out, shouldn't I?
you didn't know. I've got you there. Who else is on? Patrick. Oh, that's lovely. So you see, Patrick remembers Amy Smith and Jones.
Yeah, Emma. I remember her telling me this, and some TV person, and she went, and she's going, "What?" But I can't remember who it was. I'll go with Scarlett Johansson for now. If it comes to me later on in the show, I'll announce it, and then I'll message you on WhatsApp later.
Please do. I won't sleep unless you do.
That was very, very naughty of you putting that back on me like that, but very good. I'm impressed. Listen, before you go, you did talk about Disney movies, so I'm taking you're a big fan of Disney movies.
Oh, I'm just such a soppy, romantic fool, as was Dad. He was the biggest, soppiest. He'd cry, he'd sit and watch Snow White with me, and he'd cry when the prince comes for Snow White at the end. Me and Dad, we'd be crying like a baby, and the prince would sing, "One love I have, but one love," and Dad would be going, so softies. So yeah, go on. Disney, Kelly, my little Kelly, she loves Snow White, Peter Pan, Sleeping Beauty, Mary Poppins. I mean, oh, wonderful, wonderful. And I childminded a little girl that was a neighbour, and she's just turned 4 and starting big school. But she comes to me, and there's all this sort of super sort of children's programs now that I don't really get, and I'm now showing her all the old-fashioned ones, and she's adoring them all. They don't make them like they used to. I don't think
they don't. Well, SN has just said that Vicky is crush now.
Oh, I love you, SN. Well, that's a bit of a mysterious name. Thank you for that, SN.
Vicky,
I take that as a compliment.
You've got such energy, and you've got such a bubbly personality, and it's so wonderful. Your energy and your person. I'm so looking forward to the show over at the Prince of Wales and meeting you and Bobby as well. I'm going to be fantastic. It's going to be such a great event. And I really hope that it's a sellout for you. And obviously, we'll push it on our socials. And of course, what we'll also do for you as well on the Always Wolves website, we've got like a little advert section. We'll put the link on the website for you as well. So people that, we've got a website with blogs and writers and stuff. So
fabulous,
people go on there, and then and as well for you.
Fabulous. And if anybody wants to direct message me on Twitter, I'm happy to read and answer messages. If you want me to call somebody that can't come to the show, if you've got an elderly grandmother or grandfather, I'm happy to give them a call and just say hello from me. If they remember Dad, it's, you know what I mean? I just think Dad was such a generous spirit and had so much love to give. He's left that with us, and I think it's important. Oh, lovely. Who's that? Patrick. Thank you, Patrick.
Vicky is a breath of fresh air. Really cheered you up. Vicky, thank you so much for coming on. I'm glad we made it in the end, and I hope you'll come on again because, like you,
I will.
We can talk about the how it's gone after the event on one of the extra
times. I'd love to
come on and talk about how it went and the evening. And everything.
I look forward to that. All right, lovely to speak to you all then.
Fantastic. Take care, Vicky.
You too.
Love to you and to
Bye.
Bobby. Bye. How lovely was that? How lovely is Vicky? Such a lovely, lovely person. And as I say, Make sure you check out the Billy Wright story. It's at the Prince of Wales Theatre in October. It's going to be a lovely night. I'm going to be going as well with Emma, and there's been lots of other Wolves fans there, so it'll be a real fantastic evening to enjoy the nostalgia of listening to Billy's live story, and lots of stuff that you won't have heard and seen. And it's going to be a fantastic night. And I say there's already over half sold out. And congratulations to Kate, who has won the prize. Next up, we have another fantastic guest, of course. It's Manny. How you doing, mate?
How you doing, man? You okay, Dave?
Yeah, I'm good, man. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. Brilliant listening to Vicky there. You know, just want to say before, obviously, I do my bit. I went to the Billy Wright story 3 years ago at Molineux, and she did a similar show there with her partner Bobby Davro, and it was absolutely amazing. There was some real sort of heart-wrenching stories about Billy's life and how he was, and what a real down to earth. You know, this guy won 100 caps. You wouldn't expect 100 cap footballer in this day and age to be anything like Billy was. It was a different way of life back then for the footballers. You know, they weren't on mega money like the players are these days, and it was just a wonderful weekend. Wonderful night listening to the story. So if anybody's got the 20th of October off, you know, get down there and sell that place out, and she deserves a full house, and it's full of energy, and it's just history of our club, which is the most important thing, isn't it? It stands on that history, and so brilliant.
What a wonderful person she is as well, man. She's so
so bubbly. She's so down to earth, so bubbly. Interacts with people of all different levels. You know, she's not. People think, you know, the daughter of a 100 cap footballer would be unapproachable or live in a different world, but they don't. They live in the same world as us, and she's a wonderful person, and she spreads the story and keeps the memories of her dad alive, so we can.
Haven't you got a piece of Billy Wright memorabilia?
Yeah, man, I have. Shall I get it for you?
Yeah, let's see it. Let's see, because
Okay.
I know we
Just
talked about this, didn't we?
Yeah,
and
just 1 second.
Manny came across this thing, so I'll just keep talking. I'll read out the things, guys. You know, let me know, like, if you found the link and stuff like that as well. And if you want to get Vicky on again as well in the future, she's going to promise to come on after things. So here's Manny back already. Here we go.
Yeah. So somebody did the story about Billy Wright that Vicky tells in the experience, and I don't want to spoil it, but Billy Wright was a very generous person, so he used to give a lot of his stuff away. He would give his England caps away, and there's one where he gave his England cap to the milkman at the doorstep. You know, that's the kind of person he was. So Billy Wright gave something to one of his friends, who then moved away from Wolverhampton, went up north to live, and in this thing has been in the family for many years, and the son of this person who'd passed away now contacted me and said, would you like it, and maybe you can raise some funds one day. So what I've got here, as you can see, Ronson. So it's a Ronson box, and it says world's greatest lighter. And if I open it, I should be wearing gloves for this, to be honest. What it is a Ronson lighter, and if you look, it's engraved W.A. Wright, Wembley, 1949, and that was the first ever FA Cup final, the first ever trophy Billy Wright won, and all the players were presented with these Ronson lighters engraved with their names and the date of the FA Cup final, and that was presented to Billy, and Billy Wright gave that away. Now it's ended up with me, and I feel, almost feel, not honoured to have it, to be honest. But one day we will auction that off, and we will try and raise as much money as possible for Dementia UK, for good causes. So I'm very privileged to have that, with me. It's the only
how did it come into your possession?
So that, like I said, the person who Billy Wright gave it to, he moved up north somewhere, and then he handed it down his family, and somebody contacted me on Twitter and said, I'm the son of so and so, I've got this and I want you to have it, and just sent it through the post. And I've never, I've got the tweets off him, and I've never seen him on Twitter since. He wasn't even a full profile, and he just sent it in the post to me. He goes, I just want you to have it, and because I know you'll put it to good use. And I've contacted the museum at Wolves and said, do you want it, and would you like to donate to Dementia UK? And they weren't interested. The museum, Wolves Museum, just weren't
You'd
interested.
think they'd want that, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you'd think they would. I did, and hopefully it will go to somebody who can look after it and treasure it, and show it off to the public as well. So yeah, that's I've spoken to Vicky as well. I've spoken to Vicky about it, and Vicky knows that I've got it, and she's happy, obviously, that we're going to raise funds with it. So if
I think that'd be marvellous, mate.
Vicky wants to donate, or Bobby Davro wants to give me half of his life savings towards Dementia UK, he can have it. No, but it's hopefully one day. It's worth far more than £200, Robert Fletcher. Thank you very much. No, anyway, so that's get yourself down and go and listen to the story and listen to the history of Wolverhampton Wanderers and Billy Wright. So
fantastic. Can everyone just confirm there's no reverb? Because I think it might have been put down to Paul. I think there must have been something like that. Then I don't think it's been reverbing back.
It's okay now, Dave.
Manny, let's get back. You've now managed to get the whole clan back together after their travels and stuff like that. And I think you were all at the game at the weekend.
Yeah. We went to the Costa for the first time this season together.
Oh, there you go. another all these little lucky omens that people
do. What?
And you haven't been able to do it, have you?
I was going to say, we always have this superstition. We go to the same Costa on Dudley Street. We always sit downstairs as well. And we've got this ritual of sort of ordering these drinks, and we haven't done it this season, so it was the first time, and we won. And Costa is actually apt, isn't it, for tonight? With Diego Costa, so it's quite an apt thing.
Yeah, well, you'll have to have plenty of Costas before then, if that comes.
Yeah.
What's your take on it, Manny? We'll get into the game, but obviously Sasha's. We don't know how.
First of all, there's people are asking questions, and they're quite right to ask questions, because Sasa Kalajdzic didn't have the best injury record, but he had got himself fit and he scored goals in the Bundesliga. But that was always in the back of the mind. Does he break down? Does he have injuries? And to be honest, all of us were quite emotional because our striker was misfiring, and we probably wanted him to start. But it was still a surprise to see him start. So we can all shout and sing and say, yes, start him. But actually to take the decision to play him when he hadn't yet trained with anybody, really. They'd only done recovery sessions after the Bournemouth game. And he'd only just got into this country, and he's playing Premiership football. This is the highest level, the toughest league in the world. It was a brave decision, and lo and behold, he went down, and when he grabbed his knee and we didn't really know what was going on, then he carries on. And that's a strange thing for me. Anybody who's ever had an ACL before never gets up and carries on. They're straight off, they're on a stretcher. Yeah. So for him to carry on, you wonder, did he do more harm by carrying on? Who made that decision? So we've got to, ask a few questions, and I'm sure the owners and the hierarchy at Wolves will be asking questions to say, okay, what did we know? Why did he not come off? Why did he carry on playing? What was his injury? What was the medicals? What did we see, and what didn't we see? Anyone can have an ACL, and it's very huge, desperate, bad luck for him coming to a new country, a new football club, playing in a dream league, a big move, and then literally hardly touched the ball, just getting into the game, and he breaks down. So it's cruel luck on us.
I mean, are there various levels of? I mean, you might know this, or someone might know an ACL injury, because that's the thing. I think you hit the nail on the head there, because he walked. It wasn't like he was stretched off. He walked off the pitch. So it's
maybe
not like
you know,
an ACL to me is like stretcher off.
maybe you know what? If you look at Bruno was asked the question about Raul and Sasa, and he expected them both to be fit for Liverpool.
Yeah.
That was his initial thoughts. Now, if somebody knows that someone's done their knee in, they don't say that. They would say, "We'll have to have a scan and see and we'll let you know." That's what they normally say. So it's almost like has something else happened. Has he slipped in the shower? I don't know. No, it's because
That's
why did he
happened
play
before,
on?
isn't it?
Well, it has. You know, why did he play on? Why did he play on? Why did it take till half time? And what did they see at half time? These questions have to be asked. We've just spent 15 million quid. I'd ask these questions if I spent some 15 quid on something, let alone 15 million, you know. So, yeah, it's happened though. It's gone. It's happened. We can't change it. And now we've got to try and cope. When I look at the forward options, you know, Guedes can play there. He can. Raul can play there. Scored 1 goal. Possibly should have had 3 or 4 this season, even though he's not been firing on all cylinders. You know, we know Juan can play in the middle as well. He can stretch the back line. He did that very well. To be honest, when Juan came on, he did a real good job because he went up top and he chased and harried and he didn't let Southampton play. Because if you stand back and let Southampton play, they would have built up pressure. And the last 5 minutes, we actually managed the game really, really well, you know, he was part of that. So we've got him. Obviously, Adama maybe could, you know, play periods down the middle. Obviously, Chem Campbell. So there are options there. They are limited. They're not that experienced and they're not perfect. And the other one has come up now is Diego Costa. Now, people are probably saying, "Oh, what?"
I saw your tweet, or Emma mentioned your tweet, because you are quite a funny chap at times, and you come out with some quite thing in an alternate reality or something. Emma said, "Have you seen Manny's cheek?" Because she was laughing.
Yeah, I said in another world, Wolves striker Diego Costa will be coming up against Virgil van Dijk for Liverpool on Saturday. But you know what? If you think about it, he last played on the 7th of January. For a team in Brazil. He had 9 starts, scored 4 goals and an assist.
Yeah.
So it wasn't but it wasn't a highest level of football. So when it's not the highest level of football, you're not really going to play to a high level either. Diego Costa, when he was at Chelsea, was always a bit of a big game player. He would come alive when he had a bit of a challenge. And we know he's got a bit of a nasty streak to him. We know he's a bit of a bully, but that's his game. And we've probably lacked that type of character.
Do you know what? Emma was saying that. He says, is it going to, maybe it's something that we're missing. Is that little bit of, you know.
Hugely. You know, we don't know what's happened between January and now. He might have had 10 all-inclusive holidays and put on lots of weight, you know. But Wolves wouldn't have been inviting him on Tuesday for fitness and assessment. They would have known some sort of, you know, is he fit? Is he still playing? What's he like? They would have had to have some information before inviting him over. They're not just going to invite him over. So maybe he's in some sort of condition. I wouldn't say he would be in prime Premier League condition, but if he's there and if he comes and if we can work with him for 2 or 3 weeks and he gives us another option, then it's a bit of a no-brainer, you know. And I've seen a picture of him when in his last game that he played, and he looks in shape, he looks trim, you know, and he looks fit. And I'm pretty sure he's got a fit lifestyle. So, you know, but then again, somebody said, don't think our medical team are the right, you know, people will say, well, Sasa Kalajdzic passed a medical test, Costa will have no problem, you know, and they'll take, and there is a bit of, you know, but let's put that to one side. That's happened. I just think if he's fit in any way, shape, or form, even if he can get fit within the next 2 or 3, 4 weeks, that's better than having no options till January. And the free agent market is very limited. So definitely let's get him in. And also, a lot of people are talking about the boos. Hwang, if Hwang comes on, support him. We're a bit limited there, so we need to get behind our strikers. So if Hwang comes on to play up top because we need him. Get behind him because mentally that's going to give him a huge, huge lift if there's a opposite reaction. And thankfully, the fans did sing his name after those boos.
Yeah, because it was only a section of people. I mean, whether or not
it was audible. It was audible enough in a big crowd, and that's wrong. You know,
and the rest of the Wolves fans responded by singing his name, and he actually put a comment on his Instagram.
That he loved it. Yeah, he loved it. Then he loved that singing, but he heard those boos as well, 100%, because that's why he's responded with that comment. You know, he knows what's going on. When fans are having a go at players, do you think these players are totally immune? They're never immune. They can hear it and they can see it. And people will say, yes, but they're paid lots of money. No one really has the ability to cope with personal abuse just because you're paid lots of money. It still hurts you. So he would have had to cope with that and then carry on. So as he's coming on, as he's warming up in a match we're winning, and he strides out, and there's, even though it's a small section of boos, just imagine, you know, forget Hwang. Just imagine what Ruben Neves is thinking as captain. Imagine what Matheus Nunes is thinking. Just imagine what the players who are going off it are thinking. It's a detrimental effect, negative effect on the whole team, not just that single player. So really think about it when you think about criticize players. Obviously, have your say on Twitter and whatever, you know. And if you're not happy with so and so gets selected, everybody's got their right. They pay their money, but don't boo a player when he strides onto the pitch.
I mean, you get boos at the end of a game and stuff like that, which that's the okay. If they've played terrible, that's okay. But you should never boo them. You've got to give them the encouragement. If they have an absolute nightmare or whatever, but like straight away, he's going to be scared to touch the ball. Manny,
go on.
Go on to the actual game itself.
The game itself, wonderful. Again, probably similar pattern to Fulham, similar pattern to Newcastle, similar pattern to Leeds. Probably every game, very similar pattern. I wasn't happy with the lineup. I was a little bit devastated again that we played 3 in midfield. I think we're good enough with Nunes and Neves to play 2 in midfield and play an extra attacker, especially against the likes of Leeds, Bournemouth, Southampton. No disrespect to these teams. These are the teams we should be looking to beat. And so he went 3 again, but we kept it tight. We didn't really give Southampton too many chances. The defence was really, really good. We struggled again to really create until that moment. Brilliant pass. And Nunes is Matheus, if that's what he wants to be called. Matheus, his ball to Podence was perfect, inch perfect. And the guy's a master. Matheus is
fantastic.
Man, honestly, I was just, it's mouth-watering just watching him. Neves is a great player.
He's so calm on the ball when he's got it, even in tight situations, how he kicks the ball.
He's so strong. He's so strong. And I don't think any of our midfielders have made as many runs as he has in 6 matches in a whole season, into the box. He's always going into the box. He's always been the second man. He was going down the wing and delivering crosses. He was battling back. He's like the all-action midfielder, and he's only just arrived, and I think he'll get better and better. So it was just a vintage performance from him. Yes, we suffered. We didn't get the second goal, which was important. We had a lot of semi-openings where the final ball wasn't good enough, and and there's a comparison. You look at someone like Pedro Neto. If Hwang had put some of the crosses Neto had put in, out of play, he would have got derision from the crowd. So just be, careful when you aim your frustrations and how you aim them. But yeah, I was happy with the game. It was strong. They did hit the bar, and we got away with one where, the header.
How did he not put that in, man?
Yeah, that was a nightmare miss for them. We did.
It was a certain goal, wasn't it?
Southampton in the last 2 games, remember, they played really well against Manchester United, who are absolutely flying right now, and they beat Chelsea. So they were in good form. Southampton, they aren't a bad side, and Che Adams, has got the ability to give defenders a run around. But Nathan Collins and Max Kilman, they pocketed Mitrovic, the only the team that he's probably failed to score against. They pocketed Che Adams mostly, and they've
Can they
done that.
pocket Haaland?
Well, the thing is, if you think about it, Tyrone Mings pocketed Haaland for 89 minutes. For one moment, Haaland scores, and everybody said Tyrone Mings had the best game he's ever had against him. So if Tyrone Mings can defend against him, then maybe we can. We shouldn't ever fear anybody really, because before the game
I'm
kicks
looking
off,
forward to it. Actually, I'm looking forward to
it's
seeing how
0-0.
Collins and Kilman cope with him.
Remember,
So
Collins and Kilman, we sometimes forget. Collins is 21. He's like the oldest looking 21-year-old I've ever seen.
He's like a young Billy Wright, actually, isn't he?
He is, man.
He
He is.
blonde hair and everything.
The clearance at just before half time after they'd scored was unbelievable. How he got that ball away, and him and Kilman are just fantastic. They are the best defense in the country after 6 games. They're the best defense in the toughest league in the world. That's some record that they've started off on, and obviously with Liverpool and Man City, you're not going to get much harder games than the next 2. But Everton and Villa got points off those 2, so we can set up in a way to try and get something. So I wouldn't rule ourselves out. It's 0-0 before we kick off.
So what's your
Yeah.
What's your moment of the day and your
moment of the day? I would say I'm going to leave it on the pitch. I was going to do something off the pitch, but on the pitch was Johnny's run from right back into the midfield, past a couple of players, and then chipping that ball, Ruben Neves against Watford style, and just going past the post. I heard a lot of criticism.
Did it actually shave the outside of the post?
Yeah,
it looks as if it clips the outside.
It almost does. But what Johnny got a bit of stick, a little bit, saying, "Oh, he doesn't do enough. He's had bad games." Johnny is your 6 and 7 out of 10 every single week without fail. He's Mr. Dependable. He took that game by the scruff of its neck. Him and Matthias ran the show. They came forward. They kept the ball. There was they've really rallied the troops. And, if you look at the picture of Pedence doing his celebration when he scores, guess who's in the box behind him? Johnny. So Sasa's on the goal line and the other person in the box is Johnny. He's made a run from right back to be in the box. The guy was absolutely class. So at that moment, if that had gone in, that was a magical moment that would have been. And
that would have been some goal. It would have been another worldie. Your player is he your player of the match then?
No, I'm going to give it to Matthias because Johnny had a brilliant game, and I think most people would go for him, but I'm going to go for Matthias. He's just an all-action midfielder. Neves and Martinho, we sort of know what we're going to get with them. They're going to sit in front of the back 4. They're going to spread the balls about, play them simple. They're going to start off play. Matthias is the one that drives forward. His engine is incredible. Literally, since we've signed him, he's played every minute. Bruno hasn't ever thought of resting him, taking him off. He's played every single minute, and he looked so fresh. And there was one moment where he did a 1-2 and went down the right wing and crossed the ball. And it was a brilliant cross, and we probably should have scored. And you think there's nothing this guy can't do, and he's going to get better. So I was really excited to see him.
Absolutely. Your performance rating?
Performance, I'll give it 7 out of 10. It's a win. It wasn't perfect. There was lots of moments where we were holding on and we got away with a few lucky moments, and we didn't deliver a good enough final ball. But it's a win, and we haven't won since April, so we've got to celebrate that. So we've moved up the table a little bit, and don't you rule ourselves out in the next 4 matches. Chelsea are struggling a little bit. West Ham are brilliant. Liverpool ain't as fluent as Liverpool. We went for a pizza after Dave, and we met some Liverpool fans there. And
I know the Mr. Singh guy.
Well, I met the owner. The owners are all Liverpool fans, and they said, we need your midfield. They were saying to me, you know, Liverpool fans are saying to Wolves fans, we need your midfield. So these teams ain't, you know, they're not unbeatable. Yes, on their day, they can pretty much hammer anybody if they all click. But we can play our game as well, and we can threaten, and we got a very good defence. And you know, let's see what happens.
Matt, absolutely can't wait for the weekend. You're going, aren't you?
Yeah, I'll be there with my boys. So the first away game that all three of us will be at, so we'll definitely be there. And you know,
Well, no doubt we'll catch up with you there.
And
as
then
well.
who knows? You know, it might have Diogo Costa on the bench. Maybe
Can
he's
you
been
imagine
doing.
in that alternate reality comes true?
Yeah,
Are you
maybe.
ready to spin the wheel?
Yeah, I haven't done that yet, have I? Go on.
Here we go,
Let's go.
mate. Can you see the wheel?
Yeah, man, I can see it. Let's go.
Let's go.
How long is your beard? No, sorry.
Oh, what's the worst
my
and best
God.
song ever?
The worst song ever, ever, is the one we sing about Albion and the sisters.
Yeah, I ain't a big fan of that either. Neither's
I'm
Emma.
telling you, that is the worst, most cringe song ever. West Bromwich Albion are nothing. They are absolutely nothing. We haven't played them for that long. Keep your West Bromwich Albion songs for when we do play them and absolutely hammer them. So that is a cringe song. I don't know who came up with that. So I'm not a very big musical fan, so I thought I'll go with Chance. So
Okay, that's fair enough. Fair enough.
The best song ever, you know, I don't know. I'm with my fundraising and my all these challenges I do. I just anything that's like, you know, the Rocky theme tune. I don't know if that's a song. Put that on my headphones when I'm like training. That gets me in the mood to like combat and beat.
When I used to play table tennis at quite a high level, I used to get my headphones on to motivate me. I used to have "Eye of the Tiger" by Survivor.
There you go. That's the other one. That's the other one, and then there's the gold one, Spandau Ballet, and then there's like, you know, those type of songs. I always like them. They're quite uplifting and motivating. So, you know, ABBA are good, aren't they? I mean, classic. We were from a different era, so yeah, we don't really listen to.
Got a song here, "Money, money, money, doo doo." That's quite good, actually. If you were a Wolves player, that's what we'd be singing. Money, 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 would we?
Yeah,
that would work.
Get him off the pitch.
Do you just want to remind everyone just before you go, Samosa Saturday?
Yeah.
The
So,
date of that?
Oh man, it's so busy at the moment. First of all, we got a walk to Chelsea, so we've been planning that for the last few days and just trying to work out how we're going to do it. So on October the 6th, from 6 o'clock in the morning, which was a Thursday, I'll be setting off from Molineux, and the first day we'll be walking 54 miles to Banbury, all the way to Banbury, and then staying overnight for about 6 hours, and then getting up in the morning and then doing another 48 miles down to Chesham, and then finally walking to Stamford Bridge on the Saturday. So 126 miles, equivalent to 5 marathons in 2 days. It's completely and utterly crazy, but let's have a go. So that's the first thing, and then the week later,
you ain't wrong when you say it's completely overclaid. I still cannot believe you're doing it, but
I know,
there's one man he can, for definite.
Yeah, man.
Definite.
You know, and
I'll be there to capture you getting there, mate, as well.
Yeah,
hopefully.
yeah. A lot of fans have contacted me and said, "Where will you be?" So I'll be walking from Wolverhampton to Birmingham, then down to Solihull, through Leamington Spa, and then Banbury, we're walking all the way to Chesham, and then through Northwood and Wembley, down to Chelsea. So it's going to be tough. October could be anything. It could be rain, it could be wind, it could be anything. So, oh, there you go. Cousin lives in Chesham. I'll go and stay at hers or his. No, brilliant. So yeah, and then the week later, only 1 week later, with my stiff legs in my wheelchair, we'll be doing Samosa Saturday against. Thank you very much, Andy, and your sponsorship is
Manny,
Unreal.
when you drop off, will you put the
Yeah.
link in the chat? So we can put
I
it
will, mate. I'll put the link on, and your sponsorship and what you do, you Wolves fans. I do. Yeah, I'm just going for a walk. You're the guys who donate.
Yeah, just going for a
Yeah.
walk down to
Just going
Chelsea.
for a little walk down to Chelsea. You know, it's amazing. You keep digging in and you keep giving.
It's madness.
It's completely madness, mate. I'm telling you right now. I had a donation the other day, $500. I don't know who from, and it was somebody in Canada, I think. And there was another donation, 250 quid again from somebody in London. I don't know who it was. So all I know, they were Wolves fans. So unbelievable, the donations. And then Samosa Saturday at the Forest game, Carl's just put it on there. Forest, just before the kickoff, Dave will be joining me, and you've seen Paul Mansell, he'll be joining me, and a few others. And also the Wolves women's manager, Dan McNamara, and a few of the team will be joining.
I'll be there as well.
And the girls, yeah, Dave will be there, and we'll serve you. And you know what? Even if you forget your wallet, it's not a problem. You can have a samosa. Just leave your car keys with me. Not a problem.
Mate, fantastic. As always, an absolute pleasure. You've been asked how you can. Manny's going to drop the link in a minute when he drops off the thing, so we'll put that up on the screen as well.
My friend. Thank
Fantastic.
you, Dave. And you know what? Before I go, Dave, all best of health to your dad. I know he's been poorly and he's just come back home. So everybody, wish Dave's dad well. I'm sure he'll read the messages and he'll get a bit of a boost from reading all your well wishes. He had COVID and I know he's been in hospital, but he's out now. He's back home. Yeah. So get well soon, Magic Moss.
Fantastic. Thanks. I really means a lot, mate. Thank you. Hopefully we can get a game of tennis in again this week as well. That'd be nice.
Brilliant, Dave. Keep up the good work, mate.
All right. Catch you later, mate.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
Don't forget to drop the link in the chat.
I will. I'll do it now. I'll do it now.
Right. Thanks ever so much. So that's Manny. Always talks a lot of sense. He's going to put the link up on the screen for you in a minute. The one other thing I just want you guys to support us in whilst you've got, before I get on our next guest, is this. The Football Content Awards is taking place, and the nominations close, would you believe, at midnight tonight. So the link is actually in the description, and there's a couple of categories that you can nominate Always Wolves Fan TV for. One is, here you go, Best in Video, Best Content Creator, Always Wolves Fan TV, the podcast that we do, which obviously this goes out on the podcast, Always Wolves Podcast, and then I think there's another one knocking around. Where are we? Best Club Content Creator Premier League. If you can get on the link and vote for us, hopefully we can get a nomination, and then we'll see if we can take on any of the big boys. We've got nominated twice before, but we've never won, and I'd love us to Wolves to win one of these things. So if you can, please get onto that, and I'll the link is in the description below, and I'll put it on in later on in the show as well. I think that would be absolutely amazing. So next up, we have Chris. Hello, Chris.
Hello, Dave. How you doing?
Thank you for waiting so patiently. I much appreciated you pacing so patiently. So we've got Josh coming on in a minute as well. So that's going to be good. You've got some comments. We got you on, didn't we? Because you've got some comments about it, and you said it was papering over the cracks. And I thought to myself, okay, Chris, we like a bit of controversy. We like a little bit of debate. Explain what you mean.
I think the same problems are still there. I think, if you discount the fact that we won, great, we won, we needed the win, we got the points. If you analyse it, the same problems are there. We can't score. We can't create chances. We almost get there and not do it. So that hadn't changed. But the really worrying thing for me, which I can't I can't understand and rationalise is the substitutions. I'm sitting there on the 18-yard box in the Steve Ball, and Southampton are camping us in on 60 minutes. They bring two sets of 2 players on. They completely freshen their attacking side formation up and the midfield. And we've got Joe Moutinho struggling to keep up because he's getting tired. And we just don't seem to be able to inject freshness into the team. He's got players there. You know, he brought Wang on, he brought Adama on, and actually for the last 6 or 7 minutes when he made them subs, it pushed the game back into Southampton's half, and we kind of steadied up a little bit. But I just don't understand why he's not making subs early. He said all summer it's going to be a squad game. He needs to have a bigger squad for subs. We don't put him on. I just don't understand it. I was really pleased he brought Aït-Nouri on. I'm his biggest critic, but he should be playing those games against those sides where we think we're going to be in the ascendancy and be attacking more. Great, brought him on, and you know, much better. He was attacking. He's actually one of the few players we've got that will get the byline and get the ball over. And I do wonder sometimes whether we should play him as a left winger and just see what he can do. But I just feel, great result, 3 points. Bit of a shame about the striker. I don't think some of the conspiracy theories.
We'll come on to that in a second. Just before we continue, just everyone, as I say, Manny's been talking about his walk. You know, I've got the T-shirt on here. It's crazy. It's mad. But that's the type of guy that he is. He likes a challenge, and everyone seems to be a step higher than the next one. So goodness knows where he'll come out next. But, you know, the link is there. I'll put it in the description. You can go on to justgiving.com, fundraising, and M. Kang. If you want to donate and support that, please do, because it's one hell of a challenge, and he does obviously a lot. And you know, we're going to try and capture some of that footage on the vlog, and hopefully get to be a part of the last bit with him as well. But like, it's one hell of a challenge walking to Chelsea. He'll probably be crawling the last mile, and but hopefully after all that, Wolves are going to go and beat Chelsea as well. So get on to that, Chris. I get what you're saying about the subs, mate, because I think it's been a general frustration. We've talked about it, like that he does tend to make subs late. I think he made some subs a bit earlier in this game, though, didn't he?
Well, he had to take Sasa off, didn't he? So that was the first one. But yeah, I just, it's something I'm noticing it and highlighting it a bit more. I think now, I just think we seem to be dying on our feet at times. You know, the last 25, 30 minutes, and I just think they've got to do something about it. I just think, you know, a better team might create the space and do something. You know, that's why I said paper it over the cracks. Great result. I don't think it was all that different apart from scoring and winning. It was all that different from the other games. And I don't want to come across too negative. I put on our Discord earlier on, if we'd have taken those 3 points against Newcastle and actually scored against Bournemouth, we'd have been 4th, 5th in the league now. So you've got to look at it slightly balanced, you know. And as Manny said, I think we probably got one of the best centre half pairings in the league.
To be fair as well, you know what? They're young and they're only going to get better, aren't they? I mean, you know, they are young and they're only going to get better. SN's just put on here, look, about over 100 grand range. That's insane, isn't it? There's a chap down here that keeps talking about Leo Bonatini. It's like, you know, I guess he is on the book, but he's not registered, is he? I mean, I don't know what your thoughts are on Leo Bonatini. What's your thoughts?
I don't quite know what happened with Bonatini. He
scored 6 in 6. He broke a record or something, didn't he?
It was mustard, and then he just weltered away, just disappeared, didn't he? Got off to grasshoppers and God knows where, and I just don't know what happened with him. I mean, he looked a fantastic striker early on when he was putting those goals in. And nothing really. I mean, he didn't have a Wang moment. There's nobody getting on his back. There were no boo boys, no confidence things. It just stopped. And yeah, I mean, I just don't think the answer's Bonucci. I'm quite happy with
What do you
Costa.
think about Diego Costa?
Yeah, I can't wait. I've been waiting for him to sign for Wolves for 5 years, so
You'll be excited about that.
Yeah. We need somebody that will take the fight to other teams. We haven't got anybody. We haven't got anybody that will stand up against something that's going on, which he will. Somebody that will dig the centre half in the ribs, or we need that side to our game. We're too nice. That's our problem.
Well, Emma said this before. Sometimes maybe we need a little bit of nastiness in there.
Yeah.
What was your moment of the day, mate? Your player of the day, man of the match, and your performance rating, and then we're going to get you on to spin the wheel.
First thing I know, because I know you went. How was the heavy monster sound?
You what? Sorry,
The heavy monster sound, the nuttiest sound around.
Oh yes.
Oh my day.
Sorry. The nuttiest sound around.
Yeah.
Buster, it's at the street.
Yeah.
Ba, ba, to the rock steady beat. Ba, ba, ba. Now you.
It's all music. An earthquake is erupting, but not in Orange Street.
Oh, it's fantastic, mate.
Yeah, I saw them live in Finsbury Park when I think it was Euro 96. England were playing Spain. On the day they were playing, I saw them play live at Finsbury Park, and it was great. It's called Madstone.
Third time I've seen them. We saw them by accident. We were on holiday in Taunton, and they were gigging there. I've always loved Madness. Always one of my favourites. And we got to go see them whilst we were on holiday. Then they're at the race course. That later that year, we went with one of Emma's friends, one of Emma's friends as well, Hannah. And then we weren't going to go to this one because it was on the match, and the tickets were something like 35, 40 quid. And then someone that I knew couldn't go because their husband was poorly, and she got them off some other site for about £5 each. And so we went, and we didn't go for the racing. We just went. We went to the game, obviously. Went and chilled out for a bit, did all my vlogging stuff and editing, and then we went down to the race course, saw one race, and then Madness, and it was fantastic. Yeah. And what's your favourite Madness track?
Probably Grey Day.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, because I'm a bit miserable and morbid. It's kind of
I've got so many. Our House, the House of Fun, like you say, all that. But I do love.
Night Boat to Cairo.
Night Boat to Cairo.
Yeah.
And because you can just jump around and bounce out. I love. It's 10:30, just gone on the banks of the river. Nah, I love it.
Yeah, they're pretty good. They're the second best band I've seen live, but the best band I've seen live is Chic.
Yeah, Love Struck, and then obviously Baggy Trousers and stuff like that. We've gone slightly sidetracked, but
yes. Sorry, what did you want? My moment of the day probably was nothing to do with the match. Anything happened at the match directly. My moment of the day, because I was worried about it, because I know what our fans are like, and some of them tend to shoot at the hip and not think about the consequences of what they're doing. My moment of the day was seeing Wang tweet what he put out on his social media, because yes, there were some boos, but there were a lot more cheers and singing his name, and it was good to see, and it was good to see that he acknowledged it. So hopefully that might show some people that don't have the same view of Wang, and they might shut up and let him get on with his game, because if he gets on with his game, it's going to help us, not anybody else.
Well, he's with us now. It's the same with Traore. They've got to use them.
Yeah.
Your moment of the day is that your man of the match.
It's got to be Nunez. That was his best performance for us. To be honest, I haven't been that over enamoured with him so far, but he was absolutely brilliant yesterday. He was a a fantastic player yesterday. So I got to see what maybe we were buying, and I liked it. So hopefully we'll see a lot more.
And your performance rating?
I'm going to get a 6.
A 6?
I don't think it was brilliant. I don't think it was good enough for a 7. I think the things we're still doing wrong that we've got to improve on. I'm quite demanding as a fan, really, aren't I? But that's how I am.
Demanding is okay, you know. Yeah. Hopefully they'll turn you around, and it won't. And you'll say, actually, maybe they're not papering over the cracks, or maybe they'll prove you right, and it is. But time will tell. Are you ready for spin the wheel, mate?
Yeah, I'll go for it.
Right, here we go. We're going to spin the wheel. We will add some more questions on for next week as well. Oh, it's a Wolves question. Who is, in your opinion, and the guys in the chat can join in with this. Who is, in your opinion, Wolves' all-time greatest goalkeeper?
That's an easy one.
Yes, go on.
He's from the northeast. He lives, I think, out in Saudi Arabia or Kuwait now.
It's not John Burridge, is it?
It certainly is.
John Burridge.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I was talking to Mel Eves about this on the. I don't know if you watched it, but I think we might have been talking about afterwards on the show because Mel can talk.
Yeah.
And he was talking about Melly. He was talking about John Burridge, and he said he was as mad as he was brilliant.
Yeah, I think I'm a little bit older than you, Dave, but I lived abroad when I was a kid quite a lot, so I didn't get to see Wolves in that era very often. But one of my first memories of Wolves is that lunatic cartwheel onto the pitch with a ball, and he was another lunatic as well that's just been linked, and he was quite a good
was that
keeper.
Mark
Kendall, yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Wolves have always had, to be honest, always seem to have had good goalkeepers.
Yeah, it's the thing we've always had. Good goalkeepers. I'd say goalkeepers that other supporters would have said that they would have had in their team. That's what I think we've always had. You know, I don't think we've ever had a really poor keeper, really.
Well, there's a good answer, mate. Mel Eves talked about the time that he dressed up as Superman or something and came on the pitch dressed as Superman. Were you there that day?
Yes. Yeah.
And apparently they had no idea that he was doing it. He just literally rocked up in a Superman outfit and went out wearing it. I
wonder if that's where Raul's getting his.
I mean, the nearest we got is Raul with his.
Yeah, he needs to stop that, to be honest.
I reckon he's going to have a parrot next time.
Well, he's going to park a great big galleon in the centre circle.
Listen, I don't care if he parks a great big galleon, as long as them cannons are shooting down the goal and going in the back of the net. It's what we want.
Yeah,
I know. Raul can celebrate all he wants, however he wants, if he's banging in the goals. And let's hope he's fit and ready. And if he's got Diego Costa, if he's fit, I tell you what, it's whatever happens. Then obviously he's going to earn a bit of money. But if he comes and scores 10 goals, mixes it up a bit, the media attention is going to be all. We're going to get the Wolves generally are going to get more media attention because of it as well. That'd be interesting.
I think he will just take the focus away from us being swamped. If you get the ball up to him, he's likely to get a free kick or get the ball down and get it back to one of our players, and rather than it just being lost and coming back again, which is what's happening at the moment. And I think he.
I'll tell you what, mate. I hope that sometime next week I'm doing Welcome to Wolves Diego Costa video because it's something I've never imagined that I would do. And maybe this time next week we'll be talking about Diego Costa scoring the winner against Liverpool.
That'd be nice.
It's like an alternate reality, like what Manny said. But hey, it could sometimes alternate universes happen. Maybe.
Yeah. I think Manny's right with what he was saying. We shouldn't fear them 2 games at all. We shouldn't. Liverpool midfield is dire. It's not a Liverpool midfield. Yes, once you get past that midfield, they've got all these wonderful players that might cause us a few problems. But if we're now down that midfield and stop the ball getting to them, it could be a good game for us.
Fantastic. Chris, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on. Keep up the good work, mate, and keep up your controversial opinions because it creates debate, so that's fine, and we'll get you back on again.
All right, mate. See you later. Always Wolves. Oh, before I go, I just want to say hello to my grandson, Blake, because he watches YouTube. He's seen me on there. He don't believe that I'm on it. So, hello, Blake.
Hi, Blake. Fantastic.
See you later.
Great
Cheers,
program as well.
Bye-bye.
Blake 7, but that's for another time. Catch you later, mate.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
Next up, we have Super Josh. Hi, mate.
Yeah, right, Dave.
How was the curry?
Really nice, actually. Really enjoyed it.
And what did you have tonight?
I had a dupiaza, chicken tikka dupiaza.
And which curry house do you tend to go?
We usually use Ronnie's in just outside of Roseville in on the Birmingham New Road.
Oh, Roseville. Yeah. Who
but
did you go with tonight?
We went to Spices tonight in Sedgley.
Oh, Spices, isn't it? Who did you go with?
My mum, dad, my auntie, my uncle, my brother, and 2 family friends. It's my mum's birthday next week, so we went out for that.
And how's the band going?
So they pulled out of
It's difficult at the moment, summer holidays and all that.
Yeah, they pulled out the competition on the 11th. Is that right?
Is that the 11th of September?
Yeah, they've pulled out of that one, like you said, the holidays, and practices and that. So, and then the next one's the. Or was it the 18th? I can't remember which date they pulled out of. They pulled out of the one earlier at the 2.
Yeah.
But I think they're back.
Great many entries in it. Anyway, it's like there's only about 5 or 6 bands in it as well. It's mad. Isn't it?
Yeah,
it really is mad. Anyway, on to the game. You were there. Thoughts?
I thought it was a bit sloppy from both teams. If I'm being honest, I don't think anybody had a clean succession of possession. It was either lost straight away from either team and gained by the other team. The ref kept breaking up play. I thought the ref yet again, second game in a row, I thought the ref was a bit poor. Some good saves from Jose Sarr and Neves as well. When he stopped that one chance at the South Bank, which I didn't realise it was, although it was literally directly in front of me until I watched it back on Match of the Day. But 3 points, and that's all that matters. It was a bit. I don't think it was our best. I don't think Southampton were at the best either. But it's 3 points, so I'll take it.
Fantastic. And your moment of the day for you?
Moment of the day. I'll probably say the amount of walking I did.
You did a lot of walking.
Yeah, we did about 18,000 steps because what we did, we went to the match, back into town for a drink, and then down to Dunstall.
Oh, did you go down to Madness as well? Were you there?
Yeah.
Ah, what?
We were over by the rail. We were, once it started, we moved over to the rail. I think it was classed the amount of people that were wearing fezzes. There was loads of them.
I've got a fez. I have actually. I had one from the last time. I actually wore my fez. You didn't get any merchandise? I bought this last night.
I didn't see many stands for it, to be honest. When I walked in, my brother had a look.
There was an absolutely massive one. You know, where was it? It was as you come in where was it?
In the paddock.
In the concourse area on the big. It was a big. It was about
never spotted it.
You missed it. It was about 40 foot wide.
Me and my brother walked around the paddock, walked through the doors to the left, and just walked straight through and out to meet my mum and dad and my neighbours. We didn't even spot. We just headed straight for them.
Well, you had to go into the room, and
there was the function room on the left
in there, and it was they had all sorts of t-shirts, old ones. I got this one, which I think looks
good. That's nice. That is.
Yeah, I quite like it. Yeah. To be honest, I look good in most things, Josh, because you know. But it was brilliant. What did you enjoy the concert?
Yeah, I thought it was really good. At first, where we were standing, because we were nearly level with the end of the stand. We were in the first.
That's the actual. So basically, as you saw it, you got the stand there, and then the concert was down there. The stage was down there, wasn't it?
Looking at the stage,
opposite.
Yeah, looking at the stage, we were on the right level with the first screen. We were, and I stood there at first, and I thought, £40 to stand here and watch it on a screen and look from distance. But actually, once he got going, it was really good. Really enjoyed it.
Yeah, you paid £40.
Yeah.
Because you went for the racing as well, did you?
Well, my mum and dad, mum, dad, and my neighbours did, and then obviously after the match, we went down and watched the last few races. And
yeah. Well, we literally, as I say, went up. We got there about 7:45.
Yeah.
We actually went and stood in the stand. We watched the last race.
Yeah.
Went round twice, and then they started to come on, and then we literally walked down.
Yeah.
And, we got sort of about halfway in the middle. Of the thing. It's quite good in the thing because you got the vibe, haven't you? Actually there with the stadium, but took a few videos. I'm going to put some up on my Instagram tomorrow. But it was great. What's your favourite Madness song?
So obviously you got a lot of Baggy Trousers and One Step Beyond. They're obviously the all-time classics. But I do quite like Shut Up and Night Boat to Cairo.
Night Boat to Cairo. Can't
they
go wrong.
finished on that. He's brilliant.
They always finish on that, man.
Yeah.
It's brilliant. So you're man of the match.
Man of the match for me has got to be Neves. I just thought he was like a midfield general all game. He just bossed the midfield. I thought he had that last ditch stop of the ball, basically sat on the ball in front of the South Bank to stop it going in. And I just thought his all-round plays. He's been brilliant again. I know I say it most weeks with Neves being. I tend to stay away from picking Neves, but I thought I had to pick him this time because he for me, out of all of them, he was man of the match.
Yeah, he leads as such a captain, isn't he?
Yeah.
He leads by example. Performance rating?
7. Be a 7 for me.
And are you ready for the dreaded spin the wheel?
Let's see what happens.
Guys, the other thing as well, with this spin the wheel, we've kind of trialled it at the thing. If you like it, will you let us know in the comments if you want this to be a regular feature, and we can come up with different questions each week, because it's a little bit of fun rather than having one. It's a bit random. So you ready for the spin?
Yep.
That's a cracker, that is. Which movie star would you want to play you in a film?
I am going to go for the. I am cross between two, but I'm going to go for the one. I'll possibly go. I'm uneasy. I tried to think of an English person, really, but the only person I can think of is American. That's possibly Jeremy Renner.
Jeremy Renner. Oh, let me see if I can find Jeremy Renner. How do I spell it? Jeremy Renner.
R-E-double-N-E-R.
Let me just see if I can find a picture of him. Images.
Plays Hawkeye in the Marvel films, and he's in Tag.
And he could play a picture of you. So let's just see if I can find this picture, and I'll share it on the screen for everyone so we can see what he looks like. Here we go. Share this. Chrome tab. Jeremy Renner. That's what he looks like.
Yeah, that's the one.
And that's who he's gonna. You're gonna get to play as you.
Yeah, I reckon. Yeah.
Actually, I thought about this one. I knew I'd have to play for me, and I think because I've often been, it would be what's it, DiCaprio,
Leonardo.
Yeah, because like he's almost because like when I was younger, people used to say I look like him and stuff. Like he looked like me. So I think he could play me, Leonardo DiCaprio. Absolutely fantastic. Josh, time's ticking, so that's why we're running through a little bit.
Yes, fine, no worries.
I've got Scott left. I'm sure you'll probably stop on in the background anyway, as usual. But thanks for that, mate. And hopefully we'll catch. Are you going to Liverpool?
I can't go to Liverpool on Saturday. It's my mum's birthday weekend, so
gutted.
Can't go. So we're off out for the day, I think, and whining and dining on the afternoon. So
you do like whining and dining, to be fair, don't you?
Yeah.
Right, so mate, I'm gonna get on and get on with Scott now. I think he's
worries.
pro top or something, so we'll get him on.
All right, see you, Dave.
Bye.
Thank you very much.
So that's Josh. Last but no least, we've got the Watthouse Scott today. Hello, mate. You all right? I thought you were going to come on as a boxer at one point with that big flipping hoodie thing that you got.
I know, but I look ridiculous, so I took it off.
So we're going to whiz through because time's ticking on, and everyone will want to get to match of the day. So give us your thoughts on the game and also the Sasa Kalajdzic, Diego Costa situation.
So, quick one with the game. Basically, 3 points. That's what matters the most. We got to see a bit of Sasa. I know it wasn't much, but we got to see a bit of him, and we hope he recovers and comes back strong. Other than that, Neves for me is just we know what we expect from Neves. We get what we want from Neves, and even with the captaincy, he's just even better. He's just top notch, Wolves through and through. Last one standing from the Nuno era when he first came as well. So yeah, Neves was immense. One thing I want to quickly talk about from that is Hwang. So I don't know how true it is because obviously I wasn't there at the game, but he posted something on social media saying thank you to the fans who cheered me and sang my name. But I heard that he was getting booed as well by our own fans. True?
He did by some. It was there's a section he came on that did, which was very disappointing, and then the rest of the fans started to give him sing he's only on loan for the season song. And I don't agree with anyone. A player coming on and you boo a player coming on, it's ridiculous. Whether or not you rate him or not, you give him support.
Especially when he's a player
not as a whole, but an individual player when they're coming on the pitch. It's just
to me as well. Especially when he's like a confidence player. That's probably why Raul gave him the penalty in that game.
Yeah.
So he doesn't need to be hearing us booing him. We need to be cheering him. We need to be supporting him so we get the best out of him. And it was just a shame to read that, but I wasn't sure if it was true.
No, it was true. There's a section when he came on, and then not long after, the song was going, because obviously most sane people would understand that you don't boo a player who's coming on to help the team when they come on for the it's like, it was so disappointing. Boo the team at the end if you need to, if you're unhappy, if it's been poor, and let them know your feelings.
But to be fair, when he did come on, I didn't think he did anything wrong.
He didn't do anything wrong. Yeah, he's missed a penalty. Yeah, he's not been great for the last period of time. But you're not going to give a guy any confidence if you're going to boo the chap when he comes on the pitch. That's just whether there's always a player, and you can understand people going, okay, sell him if we get X amount of money and stuff, because he's not been doing it for a while. Dendoncker was another one that used to get a lot of people getting onto him. I actually always rated Dendoncker. I just thought he did a lot off the ball. Villa have got a good player there, but it's time. But like Wang, if he comes on the pitch, you get behind, or any player comes on the pitch, you get behind them. They're coming on to help the team. Booing the player affects him and the rest of the team. The good thing was that the majority of the fans recognised this and then started to sing his name. And from Wang's perspective, that must have meant a lot to him, which is why he's then gone onto his socials and posted that. So it's a good point, Scott. Onto the game.
And then, the game itself, I think, there's still a lot that we need to work on, still a lot that we need to improve on. But I'm just happy that we've got the 3 points. I know we got away with a couple of things, like, for example, them hitting the bar, the disallowed goal. But I'll take a win whatever way we get it. And I'm just glad we got 3 points on the board now. And hopefully, I know we've got 2 tough games next with Liverpool and City, but hopefully we can kick on and try and get something out of those games. And we tend to play better against the bigger teams. So,
well, I'm hoping so, mate, because we do have a record of doing that, don't we? We do have a record of doing that. And what's your take on the Diego Costa thing?
Brilliant. Yes, absolutely. I'll take it as long as he's fit. as long as he's fit and he passes these tests that Wolves are going to put him through from Tuesday, I'm happy with that all day. This is a guy who banged in goals for fun for Chelsea and got them a Premier League title. I will take him all day. Yes, okay, he's a bit older. Yes, okay, he hasn't played in like this league for a while. But when you're coming up against Liverpool and you've got a chance of getting a Diego Costa going up against Van Dijk, that would intrigue me fully.
It would be very, very intriguing. And I tell you what, the media attention would be insane on it. So, yeah, your performance rating and your man of the match. And your
man of the match, Neves, all day.
Yeah.
The guy is Mr. Wolves. He's just brilliant. And I just hope I'll be really sad the day he leaves. So I'm hoping we can keep him for as long as we can. But as for the match rating, like I said, there's still a lot that we need to work on. But I'm just happy we got the 3 points. So I'm just going to give them a 7, maybe 7.5 for that game.
And your moment of the day?
What, today?
A moment of the day yesterday. Any moment from that entire day?
I nearly scored a goal myself in a free kick, but the keeper tipped it around the corner. So that's a good moment. But if you want to put it into Wolves' perspective, again, it's just the 3 points. I'm just happy we've got 3 points. And if you look at the table now, we're 14th. It's given us a big lift up the table. And hopefully, like I said, we can kick on and give a good performance against Liverpool and City.
Fantastic. Are you ready for spin the wheel?
Yeah, go on.
Are you scared?
Well, I've seen the questions that have come up. I haven't seen what else is on the wheel. So let's go.
Well, we're going to spin it. And if people do want to send us in on Instagram, Always Wolves Facebook, Always Wolves Insta, Always Wolves 20, they want to send us messages on any questions they want us to add on to it, we will do our best to do that. Right, here we go. We're going to spin it. Oh, it's a Wolves question. What is your favourite Wolves strip?
Oh, right. Okay. So, all right. Oh,
it's a good one, isn't it?
It is, because we've had that many over the years. Right. Oh. Okay. The one I do like, and it's the one I never bought, and I wish I did. Do you remember? It's in recent times. The away one, the black one with like the gold stripes, with like really thin stripes.
Yeah. The one that they also had Fosun on the front in the Asia Cup.
That's it. Yeah, that one.
A good strip that was.
If you're going for personal though, my very first top was a Goodyear one, old gold Goodyear.
I'll tell you one strip that I'd like to get hold of.
There's John DeWolf. There's a favourite picture of mine with John DeWolf in that kit.
Or I'd love them to do, again, a version of it, because obviously the new teal one from this year is actually, I've got that and I do quite like it. But there's an old Goodyear strap where they've got a white top with teal sleeves and with teal light bit on the top. I'd quite like that. But yeah, and there's so many, mate. But that's
I do like the away kit for this season. That is really nice.
Yeah, which one? The second kick or the third?
Is it teal, like teal blue or green?
I like it as well. It's definite grower. It's a good one. Chris Humphreys likes the 1974 with the collar. Actually, that's a great kit. I've got that. I've got the retro version with that one. TJ's going. That was nice one. The blue away from the late 80s was quite nice. The Bukta shirt from the early 90s. The Portugal Wolves strip, someone said here. Scooter likes his home strip. No,
the green one.
Saul likes the pink goalkeepers, Rob.
You remember the green one that we got in Mexico colours?
Yeah.
As well. I like that one. That one was nice.
So there's loads. Just before we go, guys, I do want you just to remind you, everyone, we've literally only got until 12 o'clock. Please, with a cherry on the top, will you go onto the Football Content Awards website and vote for Always Wolves Fan TV. Best in video, best content creator, Always Wolves podcast as well in there, and best cup content creator Premier League. There's 4 categories that we could enter in. It takes you literally 60 seconds to do. The link is actually in the description below this video. There you go. And that's what it is on there. So if you go to the footballcontentawards.com/voting, vote for Always Wolves Fan TV and all of those categories. And let's see whether we can get a nomination. We can get into the final. That would be absolutely amazing. So if you can do that, and I'll put the link in the description as well. Also want to say a big thank you to Wolf Life again for powering the show. We're also up to, would you believe, if that comes up in a second, we're up to 29,583 subscribers. There is over 131 watching. So if you're not subscribed to the channel, just smash a like, subscribe, hit the bell. Let's get us up to 29,600. And if you've enjoyed the content today, please smash a like on the video. If you're watching it back on catch up, leave your comments in the description, in the comment section below. And if you're listening to it on the podcast, which will be out on Monday, I'll be grateful if you could leave us a rating. So thanks to all our guests. It was lovely having Vicky Wright on earlier. Don't forget to check out that as well. Yes, mate.
Just to add on to what you just spoke about, to think about as well, from when you first started this channel, it was just YouTube, and to what you've expanded it to now is incredible. And you've brought on a lot of good people on board, and it's just grown and grown and grown. And the community is massive. It extends as far as the international waters as well. So it's, if you've got a spare 5 minutes, people, all it takes is 5 minutes to fill in that form. And
it takes 5 minutes. It takes 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Mate.
Well, it probably takes me 5 minutes because I've got to make a cup of tea, I'll fill a bit in and go and have a sandwich. Yeah. But no, but seriously, you know, it takes a couple of minutes just to do that and give Dave a chance to win in the award that he fully deserves, to be fair.
It's for everyone. It's for every Wolves fan. It's like, you know, because it's for the whole community. If we could get nominated, then there's voting for the thing. We've got the website now, thealwayswolves.co.uk. We've got a fantastic team of writers. We've got people like yourself and Josh and, you know, everyone that comes on the channel as an extra time. Anyone's welcome. We've got
brilliant community. Brilliant community that you've built.
After the show, there's a big community of people that, you know, that I try to get involved with it, and then obviously all you guys in the chat that watches and supports and subscribe. So yeah, it's remember the old thing when Nuno won Manager of the Month, and he would have that team of people and all the people that's the way I look at it. It'd be for everyone. It would be amazing to have it recognised. But
and the thing is, you could still see that it's appealing to new people as well, like people who've just discovered it, because we've had new people come on extra time that we haven't had before. You've got new people in the comments that watch your show regularly now and comment. The community is growing, and that's all being built because of you. So it's the least we can do to, you know, do it for the Dazzling Dave, Always Wolves Extra Time, and everything else community.
I appreciate that, mate. Thank you so much for saying it. It really is appreciated. And we'll obviously see whether we get nominated again. And if we get nominated, there'll be another push on the to try and win. But you're always up against those massive channels, aren't you? You know, your Liverpools, your Cities, your Uniteds, and you're competing against all of those with what they've got. So if we can even just get a nomination, it's great. Thank you so much. Thank you to everyone that's been watching. We're just coming up to 2 hours again. It's like they seem to get longer, but it's been a big day. My dad, as I say, thank you for all the love that's been sent to my dad, Magic Moss. He is back at home now, and I hope everyone else enjoys the match of the day after this. And we love you all wherever you are in the world. To you and your family, all the best from myself and everyone that's involved tonight. Always Wolves.
Always Wolves.